privileging the users, but just before. You never use the user like a key, because that's a nightmare. For caching the Ajax core, you can still, if you use, of course, the JS core linked to your custom PHP, PHP class, by default you do not have a cache, so you have to develop by yourself or use an existing cache system in the publish. For instance, the Easy PHP Creator. Not sure a lot of people know Easy PHP Creator, but that's a low-level kernel features which is able to build PHP array key and store the result inside the file, like Easy Publish do for the design cache or the ini cache. So you call your function, you get the result, and you use the PHP Creator to make a cache, like a proxy cache, PHP proxy cache for Ajax. So we're going to deal with that. After that, you can add the key inside the xperi.php file, a custom key. Add a custom easycache.php script key for expire that, or by the code. Just experiment the key. Or reuse an existing key, because you have a cache system with a lot of keys you can reuse. For instance, in your content expiry, use a key. This key is updating every time someone is updating something in the publish. So you have a timestamp to compare. So if you want to adjust cache to be clear each time someone is publishing something, you can reuse this key. If it doesn't match with your feature, you can still create a new key. There are lots of different solutions for that. Of course, if you want to use a cluster system, you have to use the easy file handler on top of that. Okay. I have content about the PHP Creator, but I need a full day for that. I did in this summer camp.
For clustered systems, have you found that you've had any trouble with slowdowns during the invalidation of cluster files? And I mean, I'm sure a lot of these optimization catch bugs get around that, but what's your experience with that?
With the cluster system is more resolving issues than creating issues. To be honest, especially if you want to share your cache with two front-end bots, just not possible because you know that, because the NFS issue and the lock issue in the NFS. You still can use the FS2 file handler. We do not use anymore the lock system, but the state cache system. That's not very documented. That's documented. Nico did an article on the state cache and EasyFS2. But for the real cluster system, you mean EasyDB or EasyDFS?
Yeah, DFS is the one.
The EasyDFS. So EasyDFS use one table for the metadata and use an NFS mount point for storing the files. Yeah. No, I didn't have so many issues with that. Because the NFS mount point is only used to expose and copy a cache on the front. So that's not. Did you have an issue? Did you have?
Yeah, well, we have a site with hundreds of thousands of pages and actually 3 site accesses using the same cluster config. And it actually, on our trace reports, a lot of what shows up as slowdown is if somebody comments or rates, then the comment or rate module will call, clear object cache if needed, and that fires an update, just setting the expired tag on that many items.
Maybe you have another issue which is not related to the cluster system, but only on the cache settings. It could be the view cache or the cache block system. Yeah. Maybe that's an issue related to the view cache. If you see your view cache expire a lot of time and you think your on bench, for instance, is rebuilding all the time, that's maybe because you have a setting issue on the view cache, the most popular issue, but that is cache result limit.
Yeah.
You know what? Cache result limit?
Yeah.
Because your smart view cache is too permissive. You have settings like siblings or your parents are related, or the keyword limit. Do you know the keyword limit?
I believe so, yeah.
I have to explain that because I'm not sure that people know the keyword limit. By default, on the publish, every time you update the content, and if you use the keyword inside, the publish will get your keyword you use in this article and will look on all of the content if the keyword is used. If the publish find 1,000 articles using the same keyword, it will clear the view cache of all these nodes relating to this article. So all the time you use this keyword, you kill the cache result limit, and so you clear the entire view cache.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what happened for you.
Could be, and I mean the issue we have in a sort of endemic to the system is that if someone comments or rates, that doesn't show up on our particular set of templates anywhere but that single full view. But there's really no way to say, well, don't clear the whole tree or don't look at the relating for these types of actions without hacking the core.
What you should do maybe is look after my slide from this board.
Your slides from Lisbon, if they could be dog-eared on my computer, would be. You save their life on that.
And try to log the view cache activity.
Yeah.
I publish code extracts, very simple, using ZP event for logging the view cache activity.
Right.
So just post it on your production and collect the result at the end of the day to have a look on this log, and maybe you will understand.
Yeah, and
it's
a recent problem, and that's sort of our next step. So, but
yeah, just do it. That's helpful. What I use it all the time for making kind of rescue English or it. No more. You have a proposition.
But I don't understand why it has an issue for expiring a lot of files if there is a threshold value. If threshold value hit, it's just one record in expiry.php.
But it's they called an update to expire everything out of DFS, and I think we have probably several million rows in our DFS. So
no, I don't think so, because like in case of expiring whole view cache, like okay, you have to clear the cache for like 10,000 nodes, yeah, or like 1,000 nodes. It's bigger than the default, I think around.
So default is 250.
Yeah, then it doesn't expire all the files. It just sets the expire value in expire.php.
Well, so, and I know we
yeah, but the same reason, because
yeah, result will be regenerating them later. But in case of
we got the timestamp, and after that, easy publish will find this new timestamp in the expiry.php, and we rebuild all the view cache on top of the video cluster system.
But there is no issue with expiring it. Like, because the idea is that like on a file system, when you expire files, it's faster than sometimes than expiring it in a database, all the files. So, but this issue is regenerating view cache, not an expiring.
Yeah, I think that's regenerating. If you have a kind of loop for updating the update field name, the name in the cluster is called expire. That's boolean, true or false, to see if the metadata of the files need to be. If you have a loop with this kind of update, maybe your cache result is not setting up.
Yeah, not sure, but yeah.
It could be bad. At first, if you log your cache activity, you will find the first step of your issue. And after that, find the second one. But if you have my email, just ask for it. I will do.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
More questions?
That was enjoyable.
Sorry. That's cool. You always get lots of questions and hey, I have this issue, and then ping ponging.
The subject is not there.
It's one word never die. Yes. Ivo.
One more question. How about if you have a lot of objects, meaning one, like hundreds of thousands of objects, then you have a lot of view cache files. So how do
the view cache. Okay.
And then you have few site accesses and maybe some more view parameters.
Yeah.
So you can pile up millions of view cache files. Any solution for that?
After, you need to be sure to not use so many view parameters. If your project needs 1 million of combination, mix of view parameter because you are faceting or this kind of thing, maybe it's time to use a module instead of the content view. The content module is not good for that, so create your module. Creating your module, reuse the API, the template system, use maybe cache block and subtree XPA, just as I said before. It's avoid to use view cache.
So disable the view cache on a template and then use cache block, something like that.
If you use a module, you do not use a view cache.
No, but with the content view module, you can disable the view cache and then use cache blocks.
Inside. Yeah, it works, but it's more complex to fix an issue because you have to teach to your developer how everything works, and I think you need time for that because we have a lot of difficulty to understand what's happened if it's a cache block issue or view cache issue or the relation between both. So yes, it works, but you still need to rebuild your view cache each time. The bad thing with the view parameter is if you have a node / my content, and after that 1 million of view parameters combination, if you update the main node, you will clear all the related view cache files, so 1 million files. That's not possible. You will crash your system because you do not highlight the cache result limit, which is related to the node ID list. There you just clear one node ID, update one node ID, so all the related view parameters beyond this node ID will be clear in a loop, in a huge loop. It will crash your system. That's why with the view parameters you have to evaluate if, say, if I have more than maybe 1,000 combination possible. Of course I have the offset, the limit, but if I want to use faceting, that's not a good idea to store that inside the view cache.
It's a good way to attack an easy publish site, right?
Yeah.
So what we do with it? Didn't wait for version 5.
And if it crashes, you start some consulting afterwards?
Yeah, if you make a loop with random parameters on the website, you just fill up the storage and it crashes.
Paste a gigabyte and you cache up.
Did you play around with using varnish?
Yeah, a lot.
For storing the cache instead of caching really easy?
Yeah.